Welcome to the channel, everyone. Let's rock and roll that rabbit hole.
In its natural habitat, breeding at the farm. You see, he asserts dominance with his blue beak guzzling down the day. Soon she will realize that she is in fact the bottom feeder.
Now, I filmed that one at my buddy's place. He has a big farm with all sorts of animals. That's quite the foreplay. I didn't keep recording. We'll keep this PG.
All right, I'm holding this fence. I'm gonna stay completely stationary. So I can blow on the leaf. Can't really suck it to me. Hello, beautiful, beloved tree. I know you're just having a good day, but for an experiment, would you please bring your leaf down and touch my face? Oh my gosh, thank you.
Can you imagine ordering trees around? Oh, lovely tree, will you please pick the apples for me? There does seem to be some kind of sentient intelligence behind some plants. Let me show you what I mean.
Have you ever heard of plants screaming? Not only do plants chat, but they also emit distressing screams when subjected to stimuli or injury. Let's first listen to the sound of plant screams. Scientists at an Israeli university discovered that when plants experience stress due to factors like dehydration or physical damage to stems and leaves, they emit ultrasound screams. They conducted tests using tomatoes and tobacco plants, placing special microphones 10 centimeters away from the plants. These microphones can pick up sounds in the range of 100 kilohertz. When the researchers damaged the plant's stems and leaves, tobacco emitted 15 types of sounds, while tomatoes could produce 25 different sounds per hour. The volume of plant screams varies depending on the severity of the threat. Although humans cannot hear these sounds, they can be perceived by certain mammals and insects. While we're still uncertain about the reasons behind plants emitting these ultrasound waves, this discovery has already begun to reshape our understanding of plants.
Now, isn't that interesting? Plants can feel pain. This might come as a shock to the vegan community. And many people, including me, believe in playing nice music or talking in a positive manner to plants will actually help their growth. Try it for yourself.
Here's how I built my screaming plant, which plays an audio every time the plant is thirsty. It's built around the ESP8266, which is connected to a moisture sensor and speaker inside of a 3D printed enclosure. To make it interesting, I texted all my friends and asked them to pretend to be dying plants. Then I loaded all the audios onto the board. Each audio is then randomly played, like this.
Hey Bozo, water me, Jit, I'm thirsty.
Okay. Finally, I gave the system a site where I can customize the different settings.
Well, there you go. If you don't have the scientists and all the equipment, you can just do what this guy did. You can make your plants say anything.
We really are living in like a dystopian world because there's so many people who know and they're trying to tell the people who don't know, and the people who don't know are convinced that they do know, but the people who know don't feel entitled or like, you really need to believe this. It's more like, you should probably look into this right about now. So you got people who can see through the illusion, who still have to exist in the illusion and coexist with people who are in the illusion that don't know they're in the illusion. Like, tell me that's not a horror movie, because it feels like one. This is close to being psychosis, but it's not. It just means that we're waking up from the spell that we've been put under. It doesn't mean that you're more of anything else. It is that you're returning to everything that you are.
Yes, it's a fascinating dichotomy going on with people that are aware and people that don't care. The battle is definitely up here. If you can free your mind from the chains, you may have the critical thinking skills to navigate this world in a more effective way.
But one of my very dear friends, who I've kind of talked about on here before, who has shared some very important things that I've shared with all of you. He's a scientist. I shouldn't have said he, but yes, he's a scientist. He works with seismic activity. He works with a lot of different things that are in the science industry. I don't have to go in because I don't really want to tell too much about him. But he reached out to me about 2 weeks ago and was like, hey, my team and I have been tracking some seismic activity, and I think you should talk to your TikTok followers about this. So I didn't think I was going to do it because, I don't want to strike fear, and that's not my purpose. But now what I'm about to tell you is showing up on the news, like CNN, and also news reports out of London and Australia and all over the entire world, that in the coming months, there's predicted a mile-wide volcano that is in the Pacific Ocean that is expected to go off in the next coming months. Now, when he reached out to me, they have predicted it's going to be on June 5th. And this volcano that is potentially about to erupt will trigger over 10,000 earthquakes all over the entire globe in one day.
We reported on axial seamount months ago. Now the situation has escalated dramatically. Located 300 miles off the Oregon coast and nearly a mile beneath the Pacific, axial seamount, the most active volcano in the Pacific Northwest, is exhibiting signs of an imminent eruption. The seafloor is swelling. The pressure from magma buildup has reached the same level it did just before the 2015 eruption, an event that triggered over 8,000 earthquakes and buried the ocean floor under 400 feet of lava. Seismic activity is spiking fast. What was once hundreds of daily quakes is rising sharply, and scientists say this volcano could erupt tomorrow, or even sooner. April 13th saw a massive spike, and now, every day, more and more tremors are recorded beneath the seamount. The eruption won't impact coastal communities directly, but the sheer volume of underwater quakes, potentially up to 10,000 in a single day, will be extreme. Researchers are watching closely. The warning signs are clear. This volcano is nearing its tipping point.
Is anybody talking about this? It sounds pretty serious. I wonder if it's just more fear porn or there's actually some validity to it. Not only could we see the coastlines change, but this could have catastrophic worldwide effects. Imagine North America separated by a giant river. That's going to cause some logistical issues.
Apparently, a volcano in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, underneath the water in the Pacific Ocean, erupted, spewing out mutant sharks. This is not for entertainment purposes. TikTok, please Google stuff before you start deleting my stuff, by the way. It's rude. Just because it sounds weird doesn't mean it's not true. So what it is these sharks have evolved to live inside the extreme heat of this volcano crater at the bottom of the ocean. And they're different from all the other sharks everywhere else. They just live in this volcano. And the volcano is named Sharkano, which makes it even funnier. So that's your fun fact for today, is that a volcano erupted in the ocean spewing out mutant sharks, which is fun. I did not expect this one. I didn't, actually, and it made my day. Okay, love you, bye.
Yeah, I've heard of Sharknadoes, but now we have Sharkanos. Sharkanos. And apparently it's a true story. Mutant sharks, dire wolves being brought back. I wonder what this world's gonna look like in another 50 years.
I've been saying for decades, the things out in these mountains, out in the wilderness, we have no idea. I'm just gonna roll this. You be the judge. Let me know in the comments again. I'm not saying it's real. Probably not. You watch it, you decide, and let me know. Check this out.
Okay, what do you guys think? Is that a college student project? I find a lot of these ghost videos are generally easy to fake. Regardless, I still like to watch them because the footage is eerie, chilling. It's like watching a horror movie, but with an unknown expectation of what's to come.
Approximately 450,000 years ago, the Anunnaki, in search of gold to shield their planet Nibiru's atmosphere, arrive on Earth. Their first settlement is established in the Persian Gulf region. Initial phase. They begin their operations by mining gold in the southeastern Africa region. Due to labor difficulties, they genetically engineer Homo sapiens by combining their DNA with that of existing hominids.
I feel like this theory or possibility of human beings being created by aliens or an alien race that used to exist here, or an alien race that passes by on some planet every 1,000 years, it adds complexity to what is called the ontological primitive. The question of whether we are created by a god or created through evolution. And just to add to the confusion, check out this interesting video.
I'm going to show you 3 artifacts that seem to defy evolution. This was found in 1912 in a coal mine. It was in a large piece of coal. It broke open. This is a replica of that cup. That's the original cup. What's an iron cup doing in coal? Unless coal was formed at the same time that iron was. That does not support evolution. This right here is the London hammer. Here is the original. What's interesting about this is it's encased in alluvial stone. You could make the argument this is, great-grandfather's iron hammer, but this is starting to coalize, and there's a little nick that was taken out of it 75 years ago. It's right there, and it didn't rust, and it has chlorine in it. Here's the chemical makeup right there. Iron and a little bit of chlorine, which is unusual. This particular artifact right here, I kind of panned at one time, thinking it was kind of, until I saw the CAT scan. This was found in limestone, which means it's 100 million years old, which it couldn't be because humans weren't that far back. But if people died in the worldwide flood, then this would be encapsulated in limestone. They believe that this is a woman's finger to someone who is over 6 feet tall, and the cross-section, very compelling. I can send you this sheet right here if you'd like. So there you have it. Apes, aliens, or Adam, where did we come from, friends?
Okay. Have a good night. Alright, bye.
Is it a million tiny little humans screaming for their lives?
What is that?
I'm highly concerned.
What do you guys think that was? Gas escaping, like some kind of methane gas trapped under the soil? Is it little baby insects? Is it water? I don't know, but it's pretty weird.
Hello. Oh! Hello. You live Adams? Okay, come on, Killer. That's amazing.
So you probably have questions. I can explain. So basically, caterpillars will react to sound in a way that probably mentally fornicated the first person to ever see it. And they react most to the frequency closest to the sound of fly parasites landing on them. The same parasites that would lay eggs inside the caterpillar and then have their children eat them from the inside out. I was gonna put pictures, but they made me itchy, so I ain't even gonna do that to y'all. Google's free, but therapy ain't. So to avoid getting pretty much turned into a living nursery, caterpillars evolved a head flick in response to sound. It's their way of telling the parasites, I'm not even gonna let you get the chance. But obviously, they can't tell the difference between a human and an actual threat, so they'll headbang to a person screaming, as you can see here. Moral of this video, if you ever want to see a caterpillar rave.
Caterpillar rave.
You know, I have not been to a caterpillar rave yet. Caterpillars are cute little guys, and I'm starting to get them all over my yard now. I've personally never seen them lumped together like that in big piles. Cool.
I'm gonna test to see if this works for mosquitoes, since the mosquitoes were everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna go. So I was getting destroyed right here. I see a bunch of mosquitoes, but they're not coming near me. Oh, there's one. Is that it? Like, they were everywhere over there, and I could see them, but they weren't coming at me. Except one did come at me, but it didn't bite me.
There's one right there.
They're on you.
Yeah.
And then it just flew away.
Yeah, they fly away. Like when you're near them, again, like they're just less.
They're all over you.
They're working. I'd say so.
I'm not like 100% confirmed, but like it seems like it. Okay.
You gotta take it into the bush next time.
Yeah.
That's such a funny idea. Would you guys wear a dragonfly on your head if it meant keeping mosquitoes away? If it worked, it'd be way better than spraying yourself with bug spray. Now, I put this in here not only because it's kind of interesting, but it's also kind of scary. If you thought it was only factory jobs that were going to be replaced by AI and robots, think again. It's everybody's jobs. How long will it be until people are pushed out of YouTube and AI is making our content? Not a fan.
This is going to blow your mind. Scientists just performed alchemy. At CERN, the world's largest particle collider, something incredible just happened. In a blink, they transformed lead into gold. But hold on, before you grab your cauldron, there's a twist. This mind-blowing feat lasted only a fraction of a second. Yes, modern science achieved the age-old dream of alchemy. But it's not about creating gold jewelry. CERN's real treasure, unlocking the very secrets of the universe. By smashing particles together, they're peeking into the mysteries of creation itself. Imagine understanding what makes up everything around us, from stars to the smallest atoms. That's the true power of this discovery, knowledge. And with great power comes great responsibility.
So CERN's back at it again. Yep, they decided to turn lead into gold. And not only that, but the way they did it is absolutely insane. So they took a lead isotope, decided to move it at the speed of light, or 99.999% the speed of light, smash it into another particle, and that stripped away just enough crap to turn it into gold. But here's what's wild about it. Whenever you hit speeds like 99.99% the speed of light, mass changes. It's due to the relativistic effects of mass whenever it hits the speed of light, and there's a bunch of numbers. But basically, it's like you take a BB, turn it into the mass of a wrecking ball, shoot it at Mach Jesus, run it into another one, and create gold out of lead. Yeah, that's the kind of crap they do at CERN. And you can't tell me that ain't the most woo-woo science you've ever heard in your life, because it's literally alchemy. That's what it is. They be over there playing with stuff, making portals, turning lead into gold. I don't even know what they're doing. They changed the mass of stuff. I don't know what's happening, but it is, and I'm here for it.
Are they correct? Is this alchemy? It's funny that a lot of these claims coming out of places like CERN, NASA, SpaceX will have very little in the way of objective, repeatable, observable proof. Just claims of fantastical achievements of cosmic proportions.
This is the only real evidence of human immortality, and it's absolutely terrifying. Since the 1800s, 90 photos of these three women have surfaced at different points in history, and they never age. Journalists, historians, and even facial recognition experts have tried to explain it, but the deeper they dig, the more disturbing it becomes. The first evidence came from a photo taken in 1890, showing a woman named Eleanor Gray at a protest in London. The problem? In 1922, she appears again identical in a New York newspaper. And in 1987, a tourist in Paris publishes a photo, and there she is. No wrinkles, no changes, as if time simply doesn't exist for her. But Eleanor isn't the only one. Two other women appear in similar records. Amara Lopez, first seen in Spain in 1904, and later in 1956 in Mexico without aging a single day. Yuki Nakamura, photographed in Japan in 1877, and identified again at a protest in South Korea in 1991. Researchers tried to trace their origin, but their stories always end in a dead end. No birth certificates, no death records. But the most chilling detail came later. A leaked secret document revealed by a former British intelligence agent mentions these women. The file refers to them as the Veil Keepers and suggests they have a mission to prevent humanity from discovering something that could change everything we know about life and death.
I can't even imagine being alive for thousands of years. Honestly, that sounds terrible. It's an interesting story, though. I did a little digging on it, but everything says the same thing that this story reported. Who knows? Maybe.
In the Petén region of Guatemala, they have just uncovered a discovery that will change the course of humanity forever. I don't know if you've heard about this, but here you can see them digging, and they come across the top of a pyramid here, and they're kind of speculators of like what it is. And as it gets deeper and deeper, the writing on it, I shouldn't call it writing. It's actually a type of Egyptian writing, an Egyptian petroglyphs, if you might call it that, but it's not quite Egyptian. The scientists are calling it a reformed Egyptian, because it's a little bit different. But again, this is in Guatemala. This happened last week. These diggers are trying to show us what is on here. You can see now, look, here's some photos. It looks like some sort of sarcophagi under there, and then this pyramid next to it. And as they get closer, look at that. It looks like an alien being. They said that all the writing shows that it shows the word for cousin, and then it shows the word for sky. And so it's saying sky cousins. They're about to open the sarcophagi in part 2 of this video, and it is going to blow your mind, the type of bonage that they find in here and the fleshage that they find throughout the sarcophagi. But I will post that in part 2. First, I want to look at this. Doesn't that look like aliens? Again, this is like a reformed Egyptian, but it's showing aliens, and apparently it shows the history of the world, but not just for humanity, but for another species that has been living amongst us. Again, this is breaking news. It's going to change the course of humanity forever. I'm going to post in part 2 what we see in that sarcophagi, so it's going to blow your mind. That's all I can say. So buckle up and hold on to your seatbelts.
That guy's stories are hilarious. When you go into the comments and look in his videos, there's a lot of people that believe what he's saying. They take him seriously. He's obviously LARPing, but discernment is at all-time lows.
What's that? Oh, a former Bush official came out saying that they built an underground city secretly for $21 trillion? Okay. Yeah, her name is Catherine Austin Fitts. Now, she says that it's not just your regular tunnel with a bunch of concrete and it's just kind of plain Jane. No, she said this is a luxury city built under the United States. Okay. She said that these cities even go out under the ocean. Okay. She said that this was built specifically for the rich in case there was an extinction event for humankind. Which leads us to believe that they know something that we don't. She stated that the transportation down there is way more advanced than the transportation we have up here. Oh boy. She said that it has everything we have up here, but it's way nicer, and they even have schools, hospitals, and jails. Oh boy.
Between fiscal 1998 and fiscal 2015, there were 21 trillion of undocumentable adjustments in the U.S. government. If you go to our website, missingmoney.solera.com, we have years and years of documentation, including the government financials that show this. And so the question is, where is all this money going? And one of the things I've looked at in the process of looking at where all this money is going is the underground base and city infrastructure and transportation system that's been built. And
I'm sorry?
Yes. So we have built an extraordinary number of underground bases and supposedly transportation systems. Some of these are some of these are documented as part of the national security infrastructure. I think there are many more. So
in the United States?
In the United States, all over the world.
Yeah, when a former government official comes out like this, I can't help but wonder if there's any truth to it. Trillions of dollars. Taxpayer dollars. The public is being milked like cows. And when the big event finally comes, we'll be left to our own devices.
I just learned about the never broke a bone theory. I've never broken a bone in my life. I'm 32 years old. My brother has broken bones. My sister has broken bones. I know so many people that have broken bones to the point where when I was younger, it was cool to have a cast. And I was always like, why haven't I ever broken a bone?
If you've never broken a bone, you might just want to listen to this. There are some crazy theories about people who have never broken a bone, and they've become a bit of a hit online, so let's have a look at them. So theory number 1 is spiritual protection. Apparently there is a spiritual reason to why people have never broken a bone, and that's because they are protected by spiritual protection. Almost untouchable in a weird sense, protected by the higher powers. Interesting. Theory number 2 is good karma. Now the theory is that these types of people possess good karma. positive karma, which they've earned by doing good actions and kind deeds. So this apparently protects the individuals from coming to any harm. Interesting. So the last theory is past life experiences, and it is said that those people in this life who have never broken a bone may have experienced significant trauma in a past life. So the theory suggests that they are basically being spared having similar experiences in this life than what they did in their past life. Interesting. I have broken several bones, so it's irrelevant to me. But have you ever broken a bone?
So I'm part of the Never Broke a Bone Club. That's a pretty crazy theory, but I had never heard of it before, so I thought I'd show you guys. Anybody else out there in the club? Let me know in the comments.
Let me tell y'all a true story. Be something, watch this video to the end. Faces on the screens in Times Square, New York. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Let's go. Who the hell is that? Who's controlling those screens in Times Square, New York? Who's that? Shut up! There are faces everywhere. Faces all over the screens in Times Square, New York. This is what people are saying. What is going on here, guys? Who is that? Y'all better not say it looks like me. Come on! Who is that? Does he have waves or braids? What the Shut up! It's not a game, guys. Who is that? And why is his face on all those screens in Times Square, New York? Why? People are saying that all the lights cut off in Times Square, and then those faces popped up on the screens. Who is that? He was blinking. Who did that?
Do any of you recognize the face there? Kind of looks like Nelson Mandela, but not really. Usually when you see these type of things, it's some kind of ad or promotion for a product or a movie coming out. Some of the promotions I've seen for musical artists too have been outrageous. Giant hologram images. Pretty amazing what we can do these days. When will this technology be used against us?
You already know, if you know.
I don't.
So the conspiracy theory is that these are not real ice cream.
But it says made with real ice
Just
cream.
a theory. Apparently, if you leave these out, they don't melt. We're gonna take these home, leave them out, and see if they melt.
They leave them out all night?
One, not all.
Okay, I was gonna say, that's a waste. Alright, here's our tester right here.
Put it on a plate.
Gotta be like, very delicate with this.
We're gonna leave this on the counter overnight.
Unless I get hungry.
It's the next morning. It's time to figure out what happened. That is still an intact ice cream sandwich. Why does it look like that?
Yeah, I thought ice cream, isn't it supposed to look like, you know?
Be a melted pile of milk.
Instead it's like, oh no, why does it have like a weird yellow tint?
I don't know.
I just don't eat it.
It's so bad now. All the food is disgusting. They can't even put real ice cream in ice cream sandwiches anymore. Half the vegetables and fruits are GMO'd and contain half the vitamins and nutrients they used to. Let me be clear, I will never be eating bugs. Luckily, I live in the country now and I can get beef straight from the source. Plus, my neighbor has an apple orchard. I gave him a hand a few weeks ago pruning all his trees, and in return I get apples when the time comes. This is a much more healthier, sustainable lifestyle in my opinion.
How to speak cat lesson 2. Which means, come here.
Ni cagando. Ni cagando.
What the? Oh my god.
Yay!
I guess I speak cat now.
All right, let's test it, guys. I don't see my cat, but maybe it works. Please, guys, give it a try at home and leave a comment below if it's positive or negative results. That's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for coming by. See you next time.